Welcome to These Are the Blades of Our Lives, the figure skating show where I talk to you about figure skating like it is drama for our mamas. Now, 'tis the season, the skating season, and some of the judges were naughty and some of them were nice. But let's get to find out who was who and what was what, starting off with the Junior Grand Prix finals. So much excitement. I'm going to start off with the junior pairs because, quite frankly, that's the discipline I'm the least invested in. I didn't really have a pair that I was rooting for 100%. If I would have to say there was a pair that I was interested in, it was probably the young Ukrainian pair, Violetta Serova and Ivan Kobat. Unfortunately for them, they finished sixth here, and that's because Violetta is injured. You guys know how I feel about skaters skating while injured. I understand, we have to get spots, we have to get sponsors, we have to get funding from the federation. I get all that. But I feel like when the Ukrainian Federation looks at a young team like Violetta and Ivan, they can surely see that this is a really good young team that has a bright future ahead of them and lots of potential. Why not just let them take the time to heal and then come back even stronger next season? So their short program was really hard to watch. It was obvious that Violetta was in a lot of pain. They downed their technical content, which was a very good idea. So they only did like doubles, double throws, double side by side. And I thought that was the best thing that they could have done. And I felt so happy for them because they had a clean, long program. Even though they only did doubles, it was still a very clean, long program. Excuse me. I like the look of this pair. They match well together. They have beautiful lines. Even though they're only doing doubles right now, when they were doing triples, you could see all the elements are there and just needs to be cooked back together. So I'm hoping they take the time to get really healthy and come back stronger. Then we had in fifth place Olivia Flores and Luke Wayne. Another team that I really, really like. They were one of my favorite teams doing the junior Grand Prix. Not because they're technically proficient, but because they are very musically inclined and they are very entertaining. He's definitely a performer. He lives for the step sequence, those in between moments. She's, very robust. They just look really musically, really performative. They're selling you every moment. Even when the jumps and the throws are not going 100%, those in between moments, they are selling. And again, they're just a junior pair, so they have lots of time to grow the technical aspect. The fact that they already have the performance aspect, I feel like that's really amazing at such a young stage in their development. Then we had the third place out of the three Canadians, Martine Arino Kent and Charlie Lambert Laurent. Again, they're a junior team. I'm not going to say there was anything about them that was incredibly memorable, but then again, there was anything about them that was incredibly bad. They're just a junior team in the process of growing. Then we had Jasmine De Rocher and Kira Thatcher. This team kind of surprised me in the long program. This is the best that I've ever seen them look. This is the cleanest that I've ever seen them look. Again, everything is still under construction. The side by side jumps need to be worked on, the throws need to be worked on, but they have really good lift. There's a nice amount of speed there. They're with a very good coach. In a good training environment. So I am thinking this team in the next 4 years could definitely get it together to be maybe part of the conversation. But I was very impressed with their outing here for the first time this season. They ended work. They walked away with the bronze medal. Good for them. The silver medal went to Ava Kemp and Jonathan Ilizarov. I like this team. I like this team. She looks like a fighter. And you guys know I like me a lady fighter in pair skating. She was determined to hold on to every throw, every jump. She was holding on to every position. And he looks like a very nice partner. He frames her well. I really like this team. I I hope they more is invested into them because they have potential. There is definitely potential for Ava and Jonathan. I like this team. And then, of course, the winner here was Anastasia Meltenkina and Luka Barilova. Well, I mean, it was as expected. It was as expected that they would win. What I found particularly funny about this was Ted Barton, like, oh yes, they look like a senior team. They have so much senior quality. And then Mark Henradi was like, no, no, they are a senior team. Remember, they both competed on the senior circuit with other partner. The reason they look like this is because they are a senior team. And that's why I like Mark way more than I will ever like Ted. Because Mark has an opinion, and even when he tries to be politically correct, at least he will state the pure fact. This is not a team that looks like a senior team. This is a team that is a senior team. Ted. But anyhow, they won here. They gave a really good performance. Honestly speaking, if they were competing against the against the seniors, as they should, they probably would have had a very good outing here, maybe even end up on the podium. They're not my favorite. You guys know this. They will never be my favorite, but all their elements are good. They're sound pair with really good elements. I don't think they have any musicality or connection, and I think they have pretty awful programs. But when we're talking about pure element and getting the job done, this is a very good pair. Now for the men. I got 2 out of 3 right. I got 2 out of the 3 men right. So I had gold and the bronze medal right, but not the silver medal. So in sixth place here was Daniel Martinov. This is definitely a jump skater. The spins weren't great. The step sequence wasn't great. He's not very musical. This is purely a jump skater. And unfortunately for him, the jumps were not working today. And with skaters like that, and we've seen this with Steven Gugolev and others, when there is no jumps, there's nothing there for the judges to hold them up on. And so I'm really hoping that there is a movement now to train the young men skaters who are coming up to be more well-rounded skaters instead of this being a complete focus on the jumps. So that's what I'm hoping we see with Danielle. This was not his day, but that does not mean he will not have his day. But I do hope he works more on becoming a complete skater so that when he has his day, it will make sense. And then in fifth place was Francois Pinot. Again, not his day jumping wise, but Francois is one of those skaters that I feel will be a personality and a character in skating. You could tell he loves to skate. You could tell he is all about the performance, the step sequence, the choreo sequence. He's about selling that character. Even when his jumps are not 100%, he is still there selling the character. I definitely think this is going to be one of those skaters who become a personality in figure skating. Then we had Junior Lem, whom I had on the podium as the silver medalist. And he was there for the short program. He came out in the short program. He was a little tentative. The jumps were all a little shaky, but he got everything done and he was clean and he was on that podium silver medal for the short program. And you guys know Miss Petty Betty has to have her say. So I'm going to say this to that bargain basement Moulin Rouge and to Team Tuberetsi, to you, Danny G. Take a lesson. Please take a lesson. Here is a junior skater giving you Moulin Rouge like it needs to be given, with class, with depth, with step. Yeah, the jumps were a little shaky, but the whole package made that Moulin Rouge bargain basement that you guys are giving us looked really bad. So, Mr. Teddy, you, Danny G, Dining Glycan go ahead on YouTube and take some lesson from this. This is what Moulin Rouge should look like. So the Moulin Rouge short program was really good. And then I think he probably got in his head. Like Lem had been having such a great season, skating so strongly, making the Grand Prix final, that I think it all got to him. The fact that he was in second place, that he could have taken a silver medal home, or he could have even won a gold. I think it all got to him. He got on the ice, he was shaky, and the jumps, just those first two passage, they just were not there for him. But this is a very performative skater. This is a very emotive skater. He's a joy to watch in the kiss and cry. And I cannot wait to see him either at Junior World or at the Junior Olympic, because this is definitely a skater to watch for in the future. It's unfortunate he was in second place. He fell all the way to fourth. It was definitely unfortunate here, but I have a lot of hope for him in the future. And then my bronze medal, which I picked, Adam Hagara. Again, Adam is a well-rounded skater. Does he still have a lot of work to do? Yes, he does. But in the short program, even though there was that mistake in the triple axel, he still managed to do everything else clean and then get some good GOE on, elements like the spin and step sequence, and all of these things build. So that even though Adam doesn't have the technical firepower of some of the other skaters, because he's a more well-rounded skaters, when other skaters fail to deliver their jumps, Adam is one of those skaters who will always benefit from that, just as you saw here. He wasn't perfect in either the short or the long program, but he had enough of the technical power and enough of the artistry, the packaging, the musicality to put him ahead overall. And then we got to Hyeon Kim, who was a complete surprise for me. I will have to say I had not paid a lot of attention to him this season. He really didn't make a big statement to me this season. So I did not have him on the podium. But Kim came out in that short program and he was exquisite. He did not put a single foot wrong. The triple axel, flawless. The triple combination on point. Spin, step sequence, everything. He was emoting. This was the most alive I had seen Hyeon Kim all season. He left an impact in my memory with that short program because it was the program of the competition, that short program. In the long program, he went for that quad toe loop, down he went. But even though he took a fall on the first jump, he still went out and did a relatively clean program, which shows you he definitely has the mindset of a competitor. And to be a champion, you need to be able to compete under any circumstance. And he was able to put that program back together and keep everything on track, which was very good. And he has nice skating skill, good glide, nice depth, nice spin. Again, this is a skater that has the technical firepower. He has the quads, he has the triple axel, but he's also diligently working on those skating skill. He extends his legs, he arches his back. He does have a weird head position in his donut spin. I don't know if it's just me, but his head sort of does like a dead limp thing, which I find to be very odd. But other than that, very, very nice all around skater. Very happy for him and his silver medal here, even though I didn't have him on my radar. It's always nice to discover wonderful young skaters. And then, of course, our winner, my baby, who is a baby compared to the rest of the field, was Ryan Nakata. That short program was a bit difficult. The fall on the triple axel, ooh, that hurt me to the bone. But again, that mindset, that mental mindset that puts you into gear, that separates champions from winners, the ability to have a setback, pull yourself together, and come back. Being as young as he is, to be able to do that, he came back, he did the quad toe loop, he did the triple axel in combination, then he did the other triple axel, and then he did every single jump flawlessly. He did some good spins, he had good choreo sequence. Everything about, Bio is just good. And yes, he doesn't have the musicality and the skating skill of some of the people that he's competing against here. But it will come because he's so young. He was the youngest competitor here. Give him 4 years. Give him 4 years to get those skating skills. I feel like what the Japanese skaters are really good at is building really good, knee bend and flow and skating skill. So leave him in his camp for another 4 years, and we're definitely going to have him become that full package skater. And I'm truly looking forward to it. And then we got to ice dance. This was so nice. This was so nice. Starting off with Jeffrey Chan and Yali Pedersen. Oh my God. So they had another fall at this outing as well. So far, every competition that this pair has been at, they have had a fall. And that's very unfortunate because you could tell that the judges love this pair. They want to give them the world, but they need to stay on their feet in order for that to happen. And unfortunately, we have yet to see them skate clean all season. We have to wait to see them at US Nationals to see if they're able to stop this jinx of falling or if it's going to be a continuation. I adore Jeffrey Chen as a skater. Beautiful edge control, long extension, very balletic looking skater. But for some reason, the he doesn't seem to be a great partner in that. I don't know what it is. The his former partner Ulsken is doing so well now with her new partner. I don't know if it's because their constant partners are constantly trying to keep up with Jeffrey that is causing them to fall behind. I don't know what it is because he's so superb, but in terms of partnership, he just has not quite gotten it yet, and that's quite sad to see. Yali, I really hope she gains the confidence to understand that she's a very good skater and she can step on the ice and deliver the program that she's capable of. The free was much better than the rhythm dance where they took the short. The free was clean. They managed to stay on their feet. They were very musical. This team definitely has potential. It's just how to get over that mental blockage that's preventing them from having a clean program. Then we had the Ukrainians, Maria Penchak and Nikita Pogorilov. I'm not a huge fan of this particular team. There's nothing wrong with them. They're a perfectly nice team. They'll probably have a perfectly good career. I don't even remember their short program or really their free dance. They don't really make that big of an impression on me. There's nothing horrendously wrong with them. They just don't make that much of a they don't make an impression on me. Then the French team, Selena Fardi and Ginons Fournier. I like this team. They are very uniquely them. Even though they had a mistake in the free dance and the spin, Everything else about that program was wonderful. The rhythm dance is also good. The free dance was wonderful, except for that mistake. They are a team that I've been watching for a couple of seasons, and every season they grow. They are the slow and steady win the race kind of team. They almost kind of remind me of the Italian in that way. They're not the team that's like bursting. They're not the team that you're going to think of immediately, but they are the team who's going to improve slowly but surely. And before you know it, they will be at the top of the podium. They have good skating skill. They match well with each other. You could tell they have a good relationship. There's a respect in the kiss and cry. Their edge control is really good for a junior team. They have all the elements there to really get the job done. And I'm really invested to see how this team grows. And then in third place, the bronze medal went to the German, Daria Grem and Mikhail Savetsky. Another team that is full of potential. They look really nice on ice. They have really long lines. They extend those lines. They have really good ice coverage. They have nice speed. Everything is really nice about this pair. They also have two really nice programs. But that may be what is keeping them in third place, is that everything is nice, but they don't have that wow factor that they need to get to the top of the podium. But a very nice pair that I have nothing negative to say about, but not a pair that wows me by any means necessary. Then we get to the pair that does wow me. Oh, I am so invested in this young pair from Israel, Elizabeth Tachenko and Alexei Kilikov. I'm invested in this young pair. Listen, in that rhythm dance, when they started the rhythm dance and the cameraman zoomed in on Elizabeth, her face was saying, "I am here for my medal." Again, for me, out of all the pairs that were competing here today, this is probably the best match pair out there. They match in terms of their height, they match in terms of their line, they match in terms of their skating skill, they match in terms of their speed. Everything about this pair matches, and they look really good on the ice. And I love their free dance. They are such a young team, but they have such a strong point of view. This is a team that has something to say, and I want to hear what they are trying to say. For me, this team, if I hope they're able to stay together, they're able to grow. But for me, this team in the next 8 years, not this Olympic cycle, but the next Olympic cycle, this for me is a team to watch out for. This is a team that's got the passion and the drive and the personality that I want to see in an ice dancer. They're very well balanced. They have some interesting movement. You could tell this is a team that their skating vocabulary is going to grow from season to season. And by the time they make it to seniors, they're going to have a solid foundation. She is fabulous. She is giving you face. She is giving you everything. And he is a wonderful partner showing her off. And I am invested in this team. And then, of course, our winners, as to be expected, was Leah Amneset and Artem Makalov. This is a very good team. They don't speak to me the way that Elizabeth and Alexei speaks to me, but this is a very good team. This team epitomized everything that we think of when we think of ice dance. Long, balletic, smooth. They made everything look easy. Everything look effortless. Everything streamed one and out of the other. My only thing is they don't move me because I don't think they move each other. They don't have that emotional connection with each other. Not in an artistic way, not in a passionate way. They don't really move me in any of these ways. But having said that, They are a lovely, classically beautiful pair. And this was a perfectly justifiable win for them. This is another young pair that has a beautiful, bright future ahead of them. I hope they connect more with each other, because the more they connect with each other, the more they'll connect with us in the judges. But absolutely wonderful. This was a beautiful competition, amongst the juniors, and it was really nice to see it. And then lastly, we get to the women, these baby monsters. Baby monsters. Oh my God. Let me tell the senior ladies some good news. Good news one, Minso Kwan not coming to seniors. Good news two, Yoon Sen Kem not coming to seniors. Good news three, Rihanna Uzono not coming to seniors. Good news four, Mao Shimata not coming to seniors. And you ladies are lucky they are not, because these young baby monsters are not to be played with. So we start with the short program. Everyone in the short program except for Gia and Mao were clean. These young skaters came to give it their all. And then we went to the long program, and everyone was, except for Mao Shimada, was clean. Again, they're young, they're energetic, they're fearless. So it's easier for them to compete and be clean than the poor senior ladies. But even saying that, it was impressive to see. We're going to start with the winner of my heart, Minso Kwan. I do not know why these judges are playing with my Minso in terms of the PC. My baby was totally robbed here in terms of the component scores. I'm not saying she shouldn't be in sixth. I'm just saying the scores they gave her for components was a robbery. Because you know what? That choreo sequence was invented for Minso Kwan. She is giving you choreo sequence like no one, juniors or seniors, is giving it to you. That mark for presentation was invented for Minso Kwan. She is giving you face. She is giving you body motion. She is giving you projection emotion. She is giving you everything and then some. And these judges are not properly rewarding her. And I have my eyes on them. Now for the tech, Minso did grow a little, and that is helping improve the height and the speed of her jumps. She's still not there yet. You could tell she's very young. She's in that developing stage. But oh, I'm so invested in Minso. I love watching her on the ice. She's such a performer. She's such a whole package skater. Yes, the technical still needs some work, but give her a couple of years and you guys will see what I'm talking about. Then in fifth place, we had Amni Nakai. Her jumps were the shakiest of all the young women who were competing. Um, I don't know. I know she's trying to get the triple axel consistent, and I'm wondering if maybe that's what's throwing off the rest of her jumps. But again, beautiful skating skills, wonderful spin, that Japanese skating technique with the soft knee bend on the landing when the jumps are being landed properly. I felt like this was a bit rushed. She rushed through, the program, and her jumps were all a little shaky. I have to wait and see, if they send her to Junior Worlds, if they send her to, the Junior Olympics. But definitely the more experience that Amni could get, the better it is for her as a competitor. Then we got to the lovely Yoon Sun Kim. Landed her triple axel, had a clean short program, landed the triple axel in the free program. The jumps need height, they need speed, they need power, they need oomph. But again, this is a young skater in the developing stage. I feel like those things will come. And I'm happy to see that for now they're working on her presentation, getting her to emote more, getting her to interact with the audience, with the judges. The foundation is being laid for when Kim goes through her growth spur and then the jumps get readjusted. Hopefully, then we'll have that lovely, triple Lutz triple toe or triple flip triple toe that the South Korean women seem to have mastered so well. And then in third place, so the podium played out exactly as I thought it would play out. So then in third place was Rina Uzano. So the way it went in the short program, it was Minso, then Minso Kwan, then Yuso Kim, then Rina Ozuno. Honestly, after the first two competed and Rina Ozuno got on the ice, you could tell the difference. The speed, the power, the height of the jumps. You could tell there was a definite difference between Rina and Yusan and Minso. I love the first half of her short program. Absolutely love it. Don't quite understand the second half, but I love the first half. And then I also really like her free dance because her long program because they're trying something new. This is a skater that I definitely could see getting an Ultra C element because she's very competitive and she also has good jump techniques, good skating skill. The foundation is there that it would not be completely out of the realm of possibility for her to get a Ultra C element. And if she does get that, then she definitely becomes a real contender in the conversation. But all in all, just a lovely skater. And then we got to Miss Jia Shen. That tiny short, that tiny mistake in the short is a continuation of her being able to yet do two clean programs. So this entire season that, Jia Shen has been competing, she's either had a mistake in the short or in the free. She has yet to deliver two clean program. Having said that, even with the mistake with the step out in the short program, she still delivered a really good short program. And then we got to the free program, and Gia was just magical. Slowly but surely, Gia is closing that gap between her and Mao Shimada. The skating skills are improving from one competition to the next. Her emoting, her presentation, her ice presence, all of these things are growing. And I think Gia and her team understand they cannot beat Mao in terms of the tech simply because the base value of Mao technical program is so far ahead of Gia. However, they know they can close the gap in terms of the component, the GOE and the PC. And you could see this in the detail, the attention that's being paid to every movement, to every step. The program looked effortlessly. It flowed. The jumps just were part of the program, not something she had to stop and do. And unfortunately for you senior ladies, Gia is coming to seniors next year. Although I think she should probably spend another year in junior to fine tune everything, allow herself to go through puberty, through her growth spur, stabilize everything. Because we see so many skaters who are like fabulous in juniors, and then they get to seniors, they have to go through puberty, they have to have their bodies adjust, their jumps adjust, and they just struggle. So I feel like I wish Gia's team would allow her to spend one more year in junior just to let her go through the puberty and just let that happen in junior and then transition to senior. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think next year she will be competing in the senior competition. But she's ready. She's ready. On all the requirements and elements, she is ready. And of course, our winner here was Mal Shimada. I have been saying this and I will continue to say this. Mao does not need to be doing that triple axel in the quad. She doesn't need to be taking those falls. And the reason why is because those falls hurt. And she's young, she's growing, she's still going through puberty. Why not let her go through puberty and then let her stabilize and then try the quad and triple axel? The triple axel here was beautiful, the quad, same old, same old. But the rest of Mao's jumps is just beautiful. The short program, unfortunately, she had that major step out, in her solo triple. It happens. It happens. It's part of the growing pain. It's part of the experience. She looked devastated with that mistake, but it happens, Mao. The free again, it wasn't a perfect free, but her spin, the speed of those spins, the position, her musicality, her openness, and then you combine all that with her technical base, triple, triple, double, triple axel, quad, beautiful jumps that go up in the air effortlessly and land. And then she holds those landing positions and edge control and glide. I do think that ISU needs to modify, not the age requirement, but I was reading and somebody was saying they need to modify the date. Because if Gia is 17 by January of the year of the Olympic, I feel like they should let her in. I really, it hurts my heart that she's going to miss the 2026 Olympic because of a technicality. I think they need to go back on that age requirement rule and regulation, and they need to fine tune it a little, because having Jia Chen and Mao Shimada at the Olympic continuing their junior rivalry would do so much for skating. And for me, that's really what it's about, bringing that rivalry from the junior to the senior, where you already have the fan base, it's already building, growing that fan base, and really getting people back to figure skating. All in all, I was very impressed by these young women and juniors. Figure skating in Japan, in South Korea, and many of the other sectors have a bright future. We just need to bring the fans back so that we can make it worth it for these skaters to continue to grow. I was so happy to see such good jump techniques. Guys, I'll be honest with you. For the longest time, I was terrified that the E30 shitty jump technique would take over. But to watch all six of these young women skate and see that that is not the case, that a new generation is coming up and they're teaching sound jump techniques, sound foundation, it gives me hope that these young skaters will have a long lasting career, that they will be able to transition over to seniors without them getting injured, without them having to be tired. I really enjoyed watching these young women skate. But you guys let me know. Leave it in the comment below. What did you think about the juniors, as well as what you think about us editing the age so that we can have that continual competition between Mao and Gia at the 2026 Olympic. Let me know in the comments.